No Zero Days is a productivity system designed to help you stay consistent with whatever dream or goal you're trying to achieve. Interestingly enough, it didn't come from a productivity book or a life coach or something. No, it came from a comment to a Reddit post where a guy was complaining about being in an ever-circling vortex of self-doubt, frustration, and loathing. The user Ryan01 gave very specific rules that are meant to help you get out of that ever-circling vortex. These are: be grateful to the 3 yous, past you, present you, and future you. Forgive yourself, exercise and books, and no zero days, which is what I want to talk about today. There's a link to the original comment in the description if you want to read more about the other rules, because today I'm just focusing on no zero days. The idea of no zero days is really simple. From this day on, not a single day can go by where you don't at least do one small thing towards achieving your dream or your goal. This doesn't mean that you need to complete a project every single day. It means you need to do something for that project every single day, no matter how small. Write one sentence of that book you've always wanted to write. Do one push-up, read one page. There will be days where you can only manage one push-up, and that's totally okay because you didn't have a zero day. And more often than not, you'll realize that once you start, it's pretty easy to continue. Even though you only sat down to write one sentence, you might find yourself just wanting to write more. But again, even if you don't, that's fine. It's all about having a non-zero day. A little progress is better than no progress at all. I used no zero days back in the day when I tried to be a screenwriter. I had a printout with boxes representing every day of the year taped to my desk, and every day I would cross off one of the boxes. It really helped in forcing me to do at least something every single day. There were many days where I just wrote one scene description or one line of dialogue. But there were days where I would write entire scenes. Pages and pages would just come out of me. And none of that would have happened if I had just sat around waiting for motivation to strike. Another benefit, especially if you're creating something, is that doing a little bit every day compounds into a finished product. If I write just one single word of my book every single day, eventually that book will be finished. A friend of mine actually was working on a comic many years ago, and he was never really in the mood to work on it. The sketch of the comic was done. All he needed to do was ink it. I told him to literally just draw one line every single day, with the thought that he would do more once he started. He never did, and the comic still isn't done. I do like to tease him a little bit by reminding him that if he had literally just drawn one line every single day, the comic would probably be done by now. I don't really use no zero days anymore, but I have been doing something similar. In my mood tracking app, there's an option for tracking a goal, and I decided to track when I don't drink alcohol. And I've noticed that the higher the number is, the more resistant I am to even just having a beer. It's kind of like with that Wordle streak. You don't really want to break it. And the same goes with no zero days. If it's 2 minutes to midnight and you haven't exercised yet that day, you might just push yourself to do at least that one push-up so that you don't lose your streak. So hopefully I've convinced you now that this is worth doing. But how do you start? Well, first, define what the least you could do is. For some goals like writing or reading or exercise, it's pretty obvious. And it doesn't have to be just one thing. I used no zero days for my first YouTube channel back in the day. Every day I had to do something that got me closer to making my next video. So researching a topic, setting up a camera, writing one line of a script, making one edit. So figure out what the least you can do is, and then make sure to do it every day. Tracking your no zero day progress is very important too. Seeing your streak can really help with consistency. I'm sure that there are apps out there that can help you track your no zero days, but I like physical things, so I'd recommend using a printout or a bullet journal. There is a no zero days subreddit, which I've linked in the description if you want accountability or resources to help you get started. The no zero days system really helped me out when I was just getting started integrating into adulthood. I had all these dreams and aspirations coming out of college, And then I was hit in the face with the reality that it's not that simple. It's tough to follow your dreams or start new things or trying to improve yourself when you have so many other things going on, like a 9-to-5 job that just drains you of all your energy. It can feel overwhelming to add a goal or keep a dream alive, but the no 0-day system works. A little progress is better than none. So give it a try. Thank you for watching. Actually, one last thing. This video marks the last video of the Alphabet Superset. I have now done 26 videos in the last 6 months, and honestly, it's been life-changing. But more on that next week. I'm going to do a post-mortem and talk about this entire challenge in more detail. So for those of you who have been along for the entire ride, thank you so much for watching. See you next week. Peace.